Okay, we're going to start by describing our characters. Yeah, I'm a drow, Nutri-good assassin, cleric of Buada, who's the main enemy, killing the enemies of our campaign, and I'm the only one who worships him. I was raised at the reincarnation of the... Stop. Your special character, the one with the incredibly strange background, you know, that one? Your special character ain't special, ain't interesting, ain't hardly a character. You know who's interesting? Who's actually interesting? Regular people. Go, meet some. They're pretty great. Pretty much everyone in the world around you is a regular person, and they are plenty interesting. So your special, unique little snowflower isn't generally all that interesting, and it's usually lazy. You're substituting a bunch of descriptions of what this person is for character. All of that tells me nothing about who your person is. Now listen, an actor takes given information of a play and builds up the background to make this character make sense. They fill in the details the vast majority of the time. In fact, I'm going to say pretty much all of the time, it's pretty normal stuff. Instead of a wacky special character, let's look at a normal person. Just a normal guy. So Trevor grew up in the farmlands, and when his lord was sent to fight, he was conscripted to go into the army. So he gets into the army, and he's off for quite a while on some sort of campaign. Probably sitting outside a city, doing not a whole lot on a siege. So he finally comes home, and it's been long enough that the woman he was supposed to marry, she's married someone else, so he doesn't have a lot there for him, and he's kind of young and emo. So he decides to become a mercenary because he was good at it. Now we have a couple things here. At this point, maybe he joined a mercenary company and found out that life kind of sucks. You just you're going around, you're fighting for whichever side pays for you, and maybe it doesn't feel very fulfilling to him, or he gets kind of sick of what it actually requires him to do. At which point, he quits, stops being a mercenary, and decides, maybe I'm going to pick up this whatever the game needs me to be. It's this group of adventurers. Let's go with a random, generic D&D group of adventurers. I don't play D&D very often. Or Trevor found out he was really good at killing. Really enjoyed it, and maybe that freaked him out a little bit. So he decided to stop down the actual being a part of a mercenary company. Maybe it's a place where there's a whole lot of wars. And so he decided to stop that for a bit, maybe get his shit together. Or he just didn't have enough money to keep him on. This mercenary company he joined kind of sucked. So he ended up in whatever town this is, needing a job, and this is the first one that came through. All those are good scenarios to get a start on figuring out who the fuck Trevor actually is. Which you want to ask yourself, why is your character now doing what they're doing? Now, improvisational theater is all about making connections in the moment. What does this decision lead to? As an actor with a script, you're looking at how does my background lead to this. Role-playing games use both of these. What about you, Phil? I want to make a loner orphan. No. Holy fuck, no. If you're going to be a loner, I want you to ask the hard questions. People aren't loner by nature. We're social animals. Why has this person pushed so many people away? What effect does it have on them? Why are they here with this particular group? What causes them to reach out to others? Have they been hurt before by others? Either by letting them in and getting burnt, or by refusing to allow them in and getting burnt that way. A loner means you have to do more work. And an orphan means you got to do even more work. The kind of things we take for granted in a regular character are now gone. Mom, gone. Dad, gone. Who raised you? Yeah, I was raised on the streets, man. Shut the fuck up, Phil. Someone on those streets took an interest, good or bad. You had people you could count on, or people who would use you. If you want to play an orphan, that demands more background, not less. What happened to the other orphans that you knew? How has this affected who you are now? How did you survive? What did you take out of that experience? Now, I don't play D&D or games where the character's job is paramount. In Ars Magica, you have a pool of characters called the Grogs that are basically everyone else at your covenant. It's the farmers, soldiers, the town folks, the mercenaries, scholars, spies, everyone else who lives there. These are the people who don't have story priority. Now, every single session, different people play these grogs, and we loved our grogs. The amount of general role-playing that came out of them was tremendous. We'd have entire sessions without our really powerful mages and our blessed by the heavens companions just to play with them. We had two in particular. We had Robert and Stephen. Now, these are two guards that were needed for just a small scene where the players had left people behind to guard a ruin. And they had to find out a little bit more about what was going on in this ruin. And after a roll or two, they fumbled. They became this sort of slapstick group of characters. Someone mentioned that they were twins, and suddenly we had these two wonderful grogs who were very competent warriors, but kind of daft. They were the comic relief, and like the best comic relief, we also allowed for some great moments of actual drama. Now, if we'd only treated them as Guard 1 and Guard 2, we'd never have remembered them, let alone have them become our favorite characters. By making strong character choices and then asking what this meant for them, and them filling in who they were, we took them out of the bog of boring characters and made them beloved. So go, make beloved characters. Some games that help this. Ars Magica, which I mentioned, lets you play a ton of characters. You don't just play your powerful mage. You get to play a companion who is kind of like Aragorn or something, and then you've got like the hobbits would fit in. You're regular people, and they are a tremendous amount of fun. Fiasco's all about regular people. You don't tend to have people with amazing backgrounds in Fiasco. Fiasco's about people being stupid and not being able to do what they need to be able to do to make things go smoothly. A lot of role-playing games seem to assume we're going to be these awesome special characters, and I find that kind of boring. It was Ray Bradbury who said, an extraordinary person in extraordinary circumstances is one extraordinary too many, so you want to pare it down. You want to make sure you got maybe a regular person in extraordinary circumstances. Or how does Superman deal with that sometimes he has to come home and pay bills and watch TV, and maybe the world doesn't need saved, and he has to talk to friends who never see him because he's always off being not Clark Kent. Grey Ranks is a great game about regular people in really hard times. You're all 15 to 17-year-old kids in Poland trying to survive in World War II and get back against the Nazis whenever you can. Matsugor, 1244, you are people in an extraordinary situation. It gives you a whole bunch of possible characters, and what you do with those characters is develop them from really tiny bits of information into people who are being affected. So by the end of the game, when one of them has to die, one can escape, and the rest have to either convert or burn. You have something that's really interesting and special because you've fleshed these characters out and made them more than they actually were. But at the moment, I'm having a hard time thinking of some others, so if you think about them, put them in the comments. I don't even know if my finger is going to appear here to point because I can't see what I'm doing because of the camera. Peace.